Are you sick of hitting the gym week after week, only to have shoulders that completely disappear the second you turn to the side? Listen, the problem isn't your effort. It's that you've been sold a lie. That piling on more and more overhead presses is the only answer. It's time to ditch those tired, ineffective, bro splits, and build some actual cannonball shoulders. In this video, I'm giving you the ultimate, science-backed blueprint that forces growth in your front, side, and rear delts, so you can finally build the wide, 3D shoulders you've been fighting for. Section 1. The anatomy of a cannonball shoulder. Alright, let's get into it. What you call your shoulder is really a group of muscles called the deltoids. And your deltoid has three different parts, or heads. The anterior deltoid at the front, the medial or lateral deltoid on the side, and the posterior deltoid in the back. To get that truly round, three-dimensional, cannonball look, you have to develop all three of them in proportion. Now, here's the fatal flaw in 90% of the shoulder workouts you see online. They are brutally inefficient and totally imbalanced. Most routines are just packed with pressing movements. You do barbell overhead press, dumbbell press, machine press, and on top of all that, you're probably smashing flat bench, incline bench, and push-ups on chest day. Every single one of those movements hammers your anterior, or front, deltoid. The result? You end up with overdeveloped front delts, underdeveloped side and rear delts, and a posture that starts to hunch you forward. Even worse, this huge imbalance is a one-way ticket to shoulder pain and impingement. Your shoulders don't just look flat from the side, they actually start to hurt. This blueprint is different. We're not just throwing random exercises at the wall and hoping something sticks. We are going to strategically target each head of the deltoid with the right exercises, perfect form, and the right intensity to force balanced, symmetrical growth. We're building your shoulders from the inside out, focusing on stability and hitting those neglected muscle fibers that are the real secret to a wide, powerful, and healthy set of shoulders. This is about training smarter, not just harder. Section 2. The foundation overall mass and amp, the anterior delt. First things first, we need a cornerstone for our shoulder training, a big, compound movement to build a solid foundation of strength and size. For this, the undisputed king is the overhead press, or OHP. Done right, the overhead press is a phenomenal tool. It doesn't just hit the front delts. It recruits the side delts, your triceps, the upper chest, and demands serious core stability. Research shows the standing press is a champ, hitting the front and side delts hard, and even bringing the rear delts into the game, making it incredibly efficient. But this is where most people make their first mistake. They treat the OHP like an ego lift. They load up way too much weight, and their form completely falls apart. The most common, and dangerous, flaw is arching the lower back like crazy. You see people leaning so far back they're basically doing a standing incline press. This yanks all the tension off the shoulders and puts a ton of dangerous pressure on your lower spine. The second mistake is flaring the elbows out to 90 degrees. That position puts your shoulder joint in a weak, compromised state and dramatically increases your risk of impingement. So, let's build the perfect overhead press. Stand with your feet about shoulder width apart. Brace your core tight, like someone's about to punch you in the gut. Now, squeeze your glutes. This simple move stabilizes your pelvis and stops you from arching your back. Grip the bar just outside of shoulder width. Unrack it so it's resting on your upper chest and shoulders. Your elbows should be tucked slightly forward, at about a 45-degree angle to your body, not flared straight out to the sides. This is a much safer and stronger position for your shoulders. Now, press the bar straight up. As it passes your forehead, drive your head forward slightly, so at the top, the bar is directly over your spine. Your arms should be fully extended, but but don't slam your elbows into a harsh lockout. At the top, think about shrugging your shoulders up towards the ceiling. This engages your traps and helps create more space in the shoulder joint, which is another crucial tip for avoiding impingement. Lower the bar with control back to the start, and repeat. The bar path should be almost perfectly vertical. That is your moneymaker for shoulder mass. For some variety, the Arnold press is an incredible alternative. You start with the dumbbells in front of you with your palms facing in, and as you press up, you rotate your hands so your palms face forward at the top. That unique rotation fires up both the front and side delts, making it another fantastic choice for building those 3D shoulders. Section 3. The key to width: the medial delt. If the overhead press is our foundation for mass, this next exercise is the secret to getting that shoulder width you want. This is what separates people with okay shoulders from the ones who look wide and powerful from every angle. We're talking about the medial, or side, deltoid. When you build these muscle fibers, they literally push your shoulders outwards, creating that V-taper and the illusion of a smaller waist. The go-to exercise here is the lateral raise. And while it looks simple, it is probably the most butchered exercise in the entire gym. The number one mistake? Ego lifting. People grab dumbbells that are way too heavy and are forced to use sloppy, jerking momentum just to heave the weight up. They end up shrugging with their traps, and their side delts get almost zero work. We have to fix that. For lateral raises, form is everything. The weight is secondary. You might not want to be seen with the lighter dumbbells, but if that's what it takes to actually isolate your medial delts, then that's the weight you need to be using. Let's nail the lateral raise. Grab a pair of light dumbbells. Stand tall, core tight. Instead of holding the dumbbells right at your sides, bring them just a little in front of your thighs. Keep a slight, soft bend in your elbows the whole time. Now, don't just think about lifting the weight up. I want you to think about pushing the weight out to the sides. Lead the movement with your elbows, not your hands. Your elbows and hands should move as one single unit. You may have heard the old cue to pour a pitcher of water at the top, with your pinky higher than your thumb. We now know this internally rotates the shoulder and can lead to impingement. A much safer and better cue is to keep your thumb slightly higher than your pinky at the top. You only need to raise the dumbbells until your arms are about parallel to the floor. Going any higher just brings your upper traps into it, taking tension off the side delts. Pause for a second at the top, feel that squeeze in the side of your shoulder, and then, this is critical, lower the weight slowly. A 2 or 3 second negative is perfect. Don't just let gravity take over. Want to make it even harder? Sit on a bench. This completely takes your legs out of the equation and forces pure, honest isolation on your delts. Section 4. Building the 3D shelf, the posterior delt. So we've built our foundation for mass and carved out our width. Now it's time to build the back of the shoulder, the posterior, or rear, deltoids. This is the final piece of the puzzle. The rear delts are what give your shoulders that 3D pop. When you turn sideways, that's the muscle that creates the impressive, rounded shelf on the back of your shoulder. It's what makes you look thick from the side and back, not just wide from the front. Unfortunately, the rear delts are the most neglected part of the shoulder. They're small, you can't see them in the mirror, so people either skip them or just throw in a few sloppy sets at the very end. This is a huge mistake. If you want that cannonball look, you have to give your rear delts focused attention. Our first weapon is the bent over dumbbell rear delt fly. Just like the lateral raise, this is all about control, not heavy weight. Grab some light dumbbells. Hinge at your hips, keeping your back perfectly flat until your torso is almost parallel to the floor. Let the dumbbells hang straight down, palms facing each other. With a slight bend in your elbows, raise your arms out to the sides, focusing on squeezing your rear delts to start the movement. The big mistake here is people pull with their back and traps. To avoid that, think about driving your elbows back and trying to touch your shoulder blades together at the top. Hold that squeeze for a second, then slowly lower the dumbbells back to the start. Now, the fly is a fantastic isolation exercise, but there's another movement that might be even better for both size and shoulder health: the face pull. The face pull is phenomenal because it hits the rear delts, the upper back muscles like the rhomboids, and it strengthens the external rotators of your shoulder. Strengthening those rotator cuff muscles is critical for balancing out all that pressing and keeping your shoulders healthy for the long haul. To do a face pull, set a cable rope attachment at about chest height. Grab the rope with an overhand grip, thumbs pointing back at you. Step back to get some tension. Now, pull the rope towards your face, and as you do, pull the handles apart. Think about trying to get your hands to your ears. At the end of the rep, your knuckles should be pointing to the ceiling, and you should feel a powerful squeeze in your rear delts and upper back. Don't just yank the weight. Control it. Face pulls work best with higher reps where you can really focus on the quality of that contraction. Section 5. The unconventional finisher. Alright, one more exercise to complete the blueprint. This one's a bit controversial, but when you do it right, it's an incredible tool for hitting the medial delts and traps. We're talking about the upright row. Now, the old school, close grip barbell upright row has a bad reputation for a good reason. Pulling a heavy bar up to your chin with a narrow grip causes a lot of internal rotation and can lead to shoulder impingement. But we're not doing that version. We're going to use a modern, safer variation. There are two great ways to do this. The first is a wide grip upright row. By taking a much wider grip on the barbell, about 1.5 times your shoulder width, and only pulling the bar to about chest height, you dramatically reduce that dangerous internal rotation. The key is to think about leading with your elbows, driving them out and up, making sure they stay higher than your wrists. However, my personal favorite, and an even safer option, is the rope upright row. Using a rope on a low cable pulley lets your hands move freely along a more natural path. As you pull up, you can also pull the rope apart, which encourages that healthy external rotation and puts all the tension right on the side delts and traps where we want it. Pull up to just below your shoulders, squeeze, and control the negative. This version gives you all the benefits of an upright row with a tiny fraction of the risk. It's the perfect way to finish off your shoulders. Section 6. The ultimate blueprint workouts. Okay, theory is great, but let's put it into practice. I'm giving you 2 different workouts you can start using right away. You should be training shoulders once or twice a week, max, with at least 48 hours of rest in between to make sure you recover and grow. Workout A. Strength and amp. Mass focus overhead press, barbell or dumbbell, 4 sets of 6-8 reps. Focus on getting stronger here week after week. Wide grip or rope upright row, 3 sets of 8-12 reps. Keep the form strict. Seated dumbbell lateral raises, 4 sets of 10-15 reps. Control the negative on every single representative face pulls. 3 sets of 15-20 reps. Really focus on the squeeze and the external rotation. Workout B. Hypertrophy and amp. Pump focus Arnold press. 3 sets of 8-12 reps. Superset. Dumbbell lateral raises. 4 sets of 12-15 reps. Bent over rear delt flies. 4 sets of 15-20 reps. Do a set of lateral raises, then go immediately into a set of rear delt flies. Rest for 60-90 seconds, and repeat. Cable lateral raises. 3 sets of 15-20 reps. The constant tension from the cable is amazing for getting a pump. Reverse pec deck machine. 3 sets to failure in the 15-25 rep range. If you don't have this machine, just do more face pulls. Remember, the key is consistency and progressive overload. You have to challenge yourself over time, whether that means adding a little weight, doing one more rep, or just making your form even better. CTA and AMP. Conclusion, and that's the blueprint. Stop wasting your time on workouts that just hammer your front delts and leave you with flat, unbalanced shoulders. Start using this strategic approach that targets every head of the deltoid for complete, 3D development. This isn't about ego lifting, it's about training smart. It's about building not just bigger, but healthier, more resilient shoulders that look incredible from every angle. That cannonball look isn't a myth, it's the result of a smart, balanced plan. If you got some value from this video and you're ready to finally build the shoulders you've been working for, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss another guide. Drop a comment below and let me know which exercise is your favorite, or which one you're most excited to add to your routine. I read all the comments. Thanks for watching, now go build those shoulders.